And now we just want to add in the flat roof here. I've just closed down my Revit and I'll fire that up again and pick that right off that list. So of my recent projects. So now I just want to add in the flat roof here. That's going to have a hole in it with a little curb wall and then a glass kind of roof on top of that. So let's have a look here at our second floor. We'll double click on there. We have our section that's placed there, and again this is showing the how far that section is going. So I'm going to double click on there and just go in and have a little look here. So I think what I'm going to do is just tuck that roof in right underneath here. I think we've got enough room. We've got 10 feet to here. Let's do a let's put a dimension in here. On annotate, pick here, or as I've placed it on my quick access toolbar. See how much room we've got there. We've got 8'10". Okay, so I think we'll have to. I don't think we're going to have enough room to put the entire roof right in there. So we will take up part of it and probably make it about 14 inches deep and make it so that we've got, about 8 feet above on top there. So we can go to our top of roof and we'll create a flat roof that is going to be, we're going to make it so the bottom of the roof is at 8 feet below there. So watch how we do this. We go up to our roof plan. We zoom over here, okay? Notice there's an underlay here of the top of second floor, okay? Don't get mixed up with the 0.3. So that's why I'm able to see those. If that underlay says none, I won't see that stuff below. So you can underlay any plan into another plan. It can be above or below, it doesn't matter. You can underlay the top floor into the bottom floor or vice versa. So I'm going to underlay that inside of there. So now I'm going to start my roof command, and my roof this time is going to be by footprint, but it's not going to have any slope and it's going to sit inside these walls more or less. So I can go in and say home and then roof by footprint, okay, just doing the outside of it. And that's the easy part. I just have to go in here and do a rectangle and then go from the inside of there to, do I want to go underneath that? I think I'll just go right to there and then I'll put a little, either a pony wall or a curb or a beam or something underneath there. That's going to be a girder truss anyway. So that's going to be basically the footprint. I can hit modify or escape. Now I can hover over this, tab to select all of these. That's how you select a chain, hover and tab, and then say take the slope off. So that more or less makes it flat. Now we have to look at what type of roof it is and where it's going to be located. Right now it's at the top of roof. So we're going to go into edit type and have a look at what roof it is. It's using a generic 12-inch. We've got some options inside of here. And I think what we're going to do is we'll go with a 12-inch deep. Let's go with the 14-inch deep and then about 3 or 4 inches of kind of insulation on top of that. So we'll start with the generic 12-inch and we'll say duplicate. Okay, duplicate makes a new one, and we'll go in here and we'll just call this our flat roof. Not sure how thick it's going to be right away. We can rename it. Hit OK. Then we go into the structure, just like we did before. Hit the preview, just the same as with walls and floors. Right now, here's the top of the roof. Here's the bottom. Okay, so we're going to set the structure inner thickness to be 14 inches. So that's going to be basically the joist system. And then I'm going to click on here and say insert above that, and then on top of that I'm going to have some sort of decking or something, and we'll say 3/4 of an inch of some sort of deck. Now I'm going to click on top of here and say insert. I'm going to insert another one in here, and this is going to be approximately 4 inches thick. Okay, and it's going to say variable. This is the insulation. I'm going to be able to add low points, and it's going to taper the insulation for me. Okay, and then I'm not going to worry about materials right now. The total thickness it's telling me is almost 18 inches thick. So we'll have to fit that in there somehow. So we do that, 18 inches thick. And again, this is variable. You can't have more than one variable, and this is going to be our rigid insulation. I could probably go in here and do material while I'm in here. Go down to insulation, rigid insulation. Pick a material for that one. Okay, and this is going to be framing and planking or decking or sheathing. Okay, so there's my new basic flat roof. Okay, with a total thickness of almost 17 inches. Okay, hit OK. So now the problem is, how am I going to fit that in? So top of roof, if I just leave it where it is right now and say top of roof and no offset and hit finish, it'll place my roof in there. And if I double click on here, there's my roof system, okay, right at the roof. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, well, first I want to look at this in fine detail so I can see the line work. Okay, so now different from floors, if a floor is set to have a 0 offset from the level, it's justified by the top. If you draw a roof and you justify it with an offset of 0, it's justified by the bottom. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring this down, and let's just bring it down by minus 18. So we need to go a little more than that even. Let's go minus 17, minus 19 inches. Boom. Oh, minus 19. And we got to go a little more. So let's go minus 20 inches. Okay, so there's that roof. Now let's take that dimension and drag that grip down to here. 8'4", not too bad. Well, let's go down a little further. Let's go down here and say, minus 22 inches. Give me a little bit more of a curb there at the top. Okay, 8'2". That's enough to just kind of put some furring and some insulation inside of there. And I could just, if I wanted to, let's adjust this. Let's just say we need a bit more room here. That sounds a perfect example. So I'm going to pick on my level and say, you know what, we need another 4 inches. Boom, 20'4". Click out, up it goes. Now I can take this guy and I can bring this down to say minus 2 feet. Minus 2 feet. Okay, so I just gained some room, and my roof went up, my walls went up, all my elevations all just updated. Okay, the top of my roof just went up. So everywhere it's 20'4". We've made a design change. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, so there's our roof. Now we have 8'4", lots of space in there. We have a nice little space for a curb. We go to our 3D view. There's our flat roof. Okay, we're going to cut a hole in it, and then we'll also add in some low points for roof drains.